I'm drinking water.
Oh, hey everyone! Thank you again for coming back and joining me again. I'm your boy, the Four Train Express. Um, I apologize about that. Was not something I was proud of, but you know, happens. But anyways, let's move on. Let's give a quick shout out to the chat. We've got Dev, we've got Steven. Hope you guys are doing well. So let's talk about the Yankees and their red hot start with Aaron Judge picking it up, Giancarlo picking it up, Juan Soto being consistent, and just flat out good play altogether. The Yankees have been absolutely on fire this year. Everything is clicking. Uh, the pitching staff has been phenomenal. They're up 3-0 right now on San Diego in game 2. And Verdugo's, or I think it was Verdugo who scored. No, Verdugo went to third. Judge scored the third run of the game. Um, I mean, the Yankees have the second best record next or behind Philadelphia, and that's without Garrett Cole. So it's something to be very proud of. It's a statement that they're making, and they're really, it's I don't know how we can't be excited about this season. I mean, this is a season that is everything has gone right for them so far, and that's a great thing. Um, Hold on one second. So, what are your what? I want to know what the chat's thoughts are about this. What what do you guys think about this season? Like, how are you guys feeling? Like, with the team playing and how they're playing. What are your thoughts on it? What's going on, Jonathan? What are the biggest upsides for you? What are the highlights for you from this season? Like, what do you guys what do you guys think of this season? Like, who, which players are you the most excited about, and which players are you the most surprised about? Let me know in the chat, in the comment section, what you guys are thinking. So, I mean, for me, I would say well is definitely one of the highlights for me. Yeah, absolutely, Steven. I mean, that's the best way to put it. Is season's been great, unreal, and it's almost comical at how well they've played because going into this year, it was hard to have any kind of hope. Even after, I mean, for me at least, it was hard to have any kind of hope because of how dismal we were last year. And Jonathan, that's a great point. If Cole returns to full form, we could very well see another 2019. I think that this team, with the pieces that they have and Steinbrenner's willingness, is to spend money to re-sign Soto is fantastic. I mean, it gives us something to look forward to. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot to be excited about last year. At this time last year, I don't even know if we were at 500. I think we might have been under 500, and we just completely fallen apart. We had injury after injury after injury after injury. It just never seemed like it was going to end. So that's where I've met on it. And yeah, Steven, absolutely, man. The pitching has been better than expected, and we didn't need Snell and Montgomery because look at where they are now. Snell is hurt, and Monty's not pitching great. So that just goes to show that just because we wanted them back, and even though we didn't get them, doesn't okay. So we were two. Okay, thank you, Steven. We were 2 games above 500, but with tons of injuries. So just because we didn't get them doesn't mean we can't succeed. Snell and Monty not having full springs prove why you need a full spring to be successful. If you take a look at Carlos Rodon, the same thing with him. Last year didn't have a full spring. Came back, did not pitch great. Had a full spring this year and is pitching much better. And I want to go over some of our guys' stats because I think it's very important to look at the comparing and contrasting from last year. So let's see here. Go to the Yankees, go to roster, and this thing wants to go. So I'm going to take Carlos Rodon because that's the one guy we focused on last year. This year, in 11 games, he is 6-2 with a 2.95 ERA and 61 innings pitched with 57 strikeouts and a 1.18 whip. So that's walks, hits, and innings pitched. He is an absolute bulldog this year. He has proven that. And yes, Stephen, great point. Rodon has been great. A guy benefiting of a full spring, having his back issue past him. The guy is a bulldog. He absolutely is. Marcus Stroman is the same thing. If we look at Stroman's stats, who's actually pitching tonight and is pitching quite well, if you look at his stats for this year, Stroman is 3-2 in 11 games with a 2.90 ERA and 59 innings pitched with 51 strikeouts and a 1.29 whip. So that's another guy. Those two guys have been absolutely fantastic. And now if we look at the back half of the rotation, we've got Clark Schmidt and Luis Heel. Yes, agreed, Stephen. Absolutely. That cutter has been a huge difference for him. Now, I want to go and look at Luis Heel because of what he has done this year. He is 25 years old, to put that out there. In 10 games, Heel is 6-1 with a 2.11 ERA and 55 in the third innings pitched with 70 strikeouts and a 1.01 whip. This is coming off of a Tommy John surgery. He came into spring with something to prove and has absolutely been fantastic for us. Luis Hill has been one of the most consistent guys on this roster in that rotation pitching for us. Rodon, and Stroman have held it down. And absolutely, who would have thought Stroman would have been a fan favorite and the biggest part of having a great teammate? Absolutely. And Clark Schmidt's another one who's 28. In 10 games pitched, he has a 5-2 record, a 2.59 ERA with 61 strikeouts and 55 and 2/3 innings pitched, sporting a 1.13 whip. That's another one that has been fantastic. Our rotation has the best ERA in the American League, which is very scary to think about, being that they don't have Garrett Cole in the rotation now due to an injury. So we have to really take that into account. Yes, Cole has helped Schmidt, absolutely 100%. And their rotation. I want to Jonathan Means. They have Burns. They have Grayson Rodriguez. Well, guess what? They are now out 3 starters. Okay? So Dean Kramer is one. Yes, Cole has been a great teammate and coaching when he is still injured. So that is something else to look at as well. But you've got the Orioles, who are missing Grayson Rodriguez, their young flamethrower. They are missing John Means, who's possibly getting a second Tommy John. And then they're missing Dean Kramer, who is also hurt. So that's 3 of their starters in that rotation that's on the IL. Now, I am not saying the Orioles don't have a great farm system, because they do. But with that being said, the Orioles are in serious trouble because they don't have the pitching depth in the minor leagues that the Yankees do, which is why we have to give some credit to the Yankees front office, because they have built a minor league system that is a good mix of players, players that play, infield, outfield, whatnot. And then on the pitching side of things, they have developed young pitching like Yoendrys Gomes, Will Warren. They've got Clayton Beater. They've got Brock Selvage. They have a ton of guys in the minors that can slide in at any point. And then you've got to give, we also have to give Cashman some credit for his signings of guys like Luke Weaver. Excuse me. Guys like that can step up and be, either longmen or, a starter, whatever it is. So they have really improved this. They've really done a nice job. So if you look at teams like the Orioles, who now have pitching problems, it makes it more difficult for them to plug in rather than the Yankees, because of what the Yankees have done to improve their farm system. So the O's are definitely in trouble on the pitching side. So we really have to give the credit to the Yankees, because they've done a nice job. And I don't know. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to star this comment, Steven, because it's an outstanding comment. Cashman has changed the farm system development and made it a top 10 in baseball while competing and getting players international money. Cashman might be the greatest GM. Well, it's funny you say that because in Jason's live stream, he was talking about a book that had come out, and Billy Beane himself, former A's GM, said that Brian Cashman is the greatest of all time, which is praise from one of this most not most underrated, but one of the underrated GMs in baseball. So Cashman does deserve credit for what he has done. Now, regardless of all of that, the Yankees are up 4-0 as we speak, and Marcus Stroman is pitching a fantastic game. So, with that being said, what are you hoping for when Cole comes back? Other than him being able to be healthy, what are you hoping to see from this, or not hoping to see, but who do you think will be put into the bullpen when Cole comes back? That's what I should be asking. Who do you see getting moved, or who do you want to see get moved? Me personally, I don't want to see Heel lose his rotation spot. I think he's earned it. I think he's pitched well enough that we can say that he's not only been consistent on the road, but he has also been great at home. So for me, Nestor Cortez should go to the bullpen as a long man. It wouldn't hurt to have a second swing. Yeah, that's that is true. But then again, Stephen, you're going to have people say different things, but you're right. It's a good point. Yeah, I've been saying that along with a couple, I've been saying that for a while now. I do agree, Jonathan, that Gill should stay in the rotation and Cortez should go to the bullpen. To me, that makes the most sense. It's the most logical thing to do. But again, we will have to see what happens with that. I think Hill has earned his spot. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree with that. I think that it's a smart move, and I do agree with that. That if Cole comes back to Cy Young form, we do have a better rotation with Heel in it. So that's a good point. I think that it's definitely going to be something to look out for and something to watch. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Down the line when Cole does come back. So hopefully it works out in our favor, but you never know. So what is your thoughts on Giancarlo Stanton? Because I want to touch on him and get your thoughts on it, but how do you guys feel about Giancarlo now? Because I know there's a lot of people, including myself, who is ready to write him off, but he has been a very pleasant surprise. Yeah, I like that actually, Stephen. That's a very good point. Two swingmen, and if Gill has games, Nestor could eat innings and be like, he could. Very true. That's a great point, Jonathan. Um, if Stanton continues his hot play, he could very well be comeback player of the year. That would be something that would I think boosts his confidence, and it would be good for him. Stanton is, you know, been struggling heavily, so I could, that would be nice to see. Um, I think a lot of people, Dev, are shocked that Stanton's done good. Um, I don't think people expected it, but it's nice to see. He did drop quite a bit of weight this offseason. So that helps. So that's something to keep in mind as well. What um what do you expect going or hope to see going forward this season with the Yankees? There could be a trade, it could be a signing, it could be, what how they play, it could be a number of things. But what do you guys hope to see down the line? Because I know for me personally, oh, absolutely. You know what, Steven? That's a great point. Stanton has been clutch and doing what his baseball card says. He is finally healthy, slimming down has definitely helped a lot. He's getting his swing back, and absolutely. I think we're all in agreement on that, Dev, that we all hope for a championship. Um, but so let me rephrase that. Over the next few weeks, what do you hope to see? And what do you think will happen prediction wise? That's that's where I'm getting at. I should have uh, rephrased that. But um, um, for me, prediction wise, I could I could see I could see the Yankees trying to get maybe another reliever. Um, that's actually something I would love to see. Number 28, but if they can re-sign Soto before season's end, that would be great because then we get more Soto. Hal has already said he wants to re-sign him and make him a Yankee for life. I hope he does. It'll be great to see him back in the Yankees uh, lore next year. He loves it here. He loves the fans. The fans love him. Um, he's got a more. He's got more drive to. Excuse me, guys. He's got more drive to be. He wants. He's out there every day playing. Um, so, yeah, I think that would be great to see if we can get Soto re-signed before season's end. I'd love to see that personally. So that's awesome. Um, I now prediction wise, I don't know if it'll happen, but it very well could. The Yankees might try to get another reliever or possibly another starter, um, in which then maybe Cortez is packaged in a deal for another starter or a reliever, or you don't know. But that's something that I could see potentially happening as well. What do you guys think? What predictions do you guys have? They could trade Torres, but I don't know how much trade value he has. I don't know if he's got enough trade value to really get anything back. Unfortunately, I think another lefty reliever and possibly a bench piece. Yeah, that would be good if we got another lefty reliever. I don't know if there's going to be a lefty reliever available. Maybe there will be, maybe there won't. Maybe Garrett Crochet of the White Sox, because the White Sox, as we know, are a dumpster fire. They are just so far from doing anything. They've got years before they're going to be back in contention. So it's possible. Yeah, I hope DJ does good too, Dev. I think that'll be a good confidence boost. Really, Tanner Scott on the trading block. Interesting. Let me check his numbers out. That's interesting. Huh. Tanner Scott of the Miami Marlins. Let's take a look at that. Tanner Scott. 4-4, 1.71 ERA. Lefty 21. That's interesting. I wouldn't be opposed to it. That's a very interesting idea there, Stephen. I would not be opposed to it at all. He does know the American League East, being that he was with Baltimore. So that's an interesting idea. Miami is in last. They're probably not going to do much this season. So, yeah, that's interesting. I might consider that. So, that's interesting. I do like that. But, okay, so then Tanner Scott's an idea. Then who else would you want from Miami, Steven, that would be available for a trade? If there's any other pieces that you can think of, I'd love to hear what your opinion is on that. And then we are going to wrap it up for tonight. But yeah, if Miami's selling off pieces, I might consider doing a deal with them, depending on the deal, if it's at the right price. So that would be my thing. But we are going to wrap this up. Thank you guys for hanging with me tonight. I do appreciate it. I appreciate you guys for fair enough, Steven. But I want to thank you all for joining me on the first half of the live stream and then coming on again. So thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you for being supportive of the channel and giving the channel love and support. So thank you guys. And I'm your boy, the Ford Train Express. This is the final stop on this train train ride. And I will see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your night. And I'll talk to you later.